situations?
We are doing very badly in matters violation of human rights. You know, there are very many cases of forced abductions, forced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. No action has been taken. I want to promise the people of Kenya on day one. There is a squad of 101 officers that has been in charge of those abductions. It will be disbanded, and all officers who abducted our children and killed them will be held to account.
That squad was put there during the time when you're deputy president?
Yeah, and I complained about it. I complained very bitterly.
Who did you raise the question to? Did you go to IPOA or to IAU?
No, I raised it publicly in Mombasa for the people of Kenya. I raised it with the president himself in a security meeting. I raised it with him one-to-one, and when he did not heed to what I was asking him to do, I held a press conference and condemned extrajudicial killings and abductions. I still hold that position, that on forming government, abductions must come to an end, extrajudicial killings must come to an end, and all officers who have taken part in abductions and extrajudicial killings will be prosecuted.
Because you are part of the National Security Council, what was the reasoning behind the formation of that force?
Well, abductions and extrajudicial killings, and I opposed it myself. And when the president did not listen to me, I held a public press conference. It's on record on the 26th of June, 2024. It's on record.
But that, Mr. Gachagua, was way after you had served in government. Why didn't you speak on the very first day?
Those issues,
Mr. Gachagua, one would say, at the point when you were giving that statement, it's because you knew that impeachment was coming.
No. That was in June. Impeachment was in October. It had reached a stage. I had raised it privately. I had raised it in meetings, and it was still going on. So I made a decision to raise it publicly, and it's on record. And everybody knows I raised it publicly. What I'm saying is we must make sure when we form government that extrajudicial killings must come to an end, abductions must come to an end, and all officers responsible will be held to account. And let me tell police commanders who are escorting goons around the country, we are keeping a very good diary. All those officers who are in charge of Narok, on the day we were there, and we were brutalized, they will be held to account when we form government. No, the records are there. We'll be asking who was the OCS Narok on that day, who was the officer commanding police division that day, who was the OCS Tigoni police station when criminals attacked regarding Gachagua in Lemuru, who was the OCS then. They will be taken to account. And let me tell police officers, all those who are carrying out illegal instructions from politicians, you will answer for them. And criminal activities have no time limit. When we form government, and I have asked all leaders to keep a record of police excesses. Keep the name of the OCS, the name of the OSPD, the name of the sub-county commander, the guy in charge of CID, and keep proper record of the police excesses, the sins of commission and omission. When we form government, these officers will be held to account. Are
you speaking to a government that will finally allow the Inspector General to be independent and do the policing work?
You know, we have an Inspector General of Police who have surrendered his command to his juniors. This Douglas Kaja does not even know what goes on. The guy in charge is called Masengeri, the guy in charge of AP, and the guy called the Langat. These are the guys who are running the show and the DCI. The IG is a flower girl in Kenya. He doesn't know what goes on. He's from my village. He has no idea what goes on, you know? And it's so sad, you know? Ourselves, when we form government, we want to allow independent institutions to function. We want independent offices to function. You want an IG who can take command of the police. And I want to tell Douglas Kanja and those two DIGs to remember that in 2007, Major Ali was taken to the ICC for sins of commission and omission. And the way they are driving this country as we go towards the election, I see these officers having a date at The Hague. Kaja, Langat, Masengeri. I mean, I see you having a date at The Hague.
Will you file a
because
petition
the way things are going,
the ICC?
No, the way things are going, you allow goons to terrorize Kenyans under police formation. Kenyans say no, and they fight. And there is civil strife. ICC comes in, and you people in charge of the police command, you will have to account.
Would you be at the forefront in filing a petition
of course,
at the ICC?
Of course. I can tell you a lot of things are going on, a lot of documentation is going on. And I've told William Ruto he had a date with The Hague. I see him having a second date. And he knows he was not vindicated. It is only that witnesses were interfered with. He knows what Hague means. And the way things are going, I see him having a second date at The Hague because he has allowed criminals to take over the security sector and rain terror on the people of Kenya, you know. And this will constitute crimes against humanity eventually. And as we go towards 2027, the way I'm listening to Kenyans talk, Kenyans will defend themselves. And you see, when Kenyans defend themselves because the police are not available to defend them, there is anarchy. When there is anarchy, there is death, there is injury, and then the ICC will come in.
But Kenyans will defend themselves. What exactly do you mean?
What do you mean? If you go to terrorize people, goons under police supervision go to terrorize people, you expect people just to sit down? People will say no. Because Kenyans are people